Hi, everyone.
Good evening, Professor.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Very good, very good. Let's see who is here. Muhammad is here. Norman is here. Hello, sir. Norman, you're new here.
Yes, sir. I just transfer.
Wonderful. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Abel is here. Vignesh is here. Naoki.
Good evening, Professor.
Good evening. Good
Hey,
evening.
Professor.
Hello, Professor.
Hi, Abel. How are you? Good evening.
How about you?
Great, thank you. Mm-hmm. Let's see. So let's wait 5 more minutes, then we'll start. Any questions, anything regarding what we have learned last week? Nothing. Everything was perfect. Let's see. Who hasn't introduced himself or herself? I think Norman needs to introduce himself. Where is he from? What does he do for fun? And what his goal after graduation? And if anyone else hasn't introduced himself, please do. So let everyone know about each other. And let me also check your groups to see if we need to add more people. Let's see. Okay. One, two, three, four. We have 25 students. How many now?
14.
One of them is me. 13.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Norman, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm Norman Eusebio from the Philippines. Just to give a brief background, I initially took a DBA degree at the Westcliff University. Unfortunately, I felt that it was too overwhelming. I decided to move to an IT course, hoping that this is more relevant to my future career. And I belong to the hospitality industry, and I've been in this business for quite a while, and planning to use technology in the hotel business.
Excellent.
To be able to be more competitive in terms of reinventing oneself. I'm trying to be different from other managers, as we learned from the other video last week, that you have to have your own unique selling proposition as an individual. If a company is doing it, you also have to do it on your own personal level.
Excellent.
It's like a continuing education. That's why I think technology now will disrupt the hospitality industry in a bigger scale. So
Mhm.
you have to be ready and you have to be abreast of what's happening in terms of technological advancement. So
Exactly.
moving forward, I think there will be a lot of alignment in the hospitality workforce in terms of technology introduction and technology growth, and we have to be ready. Even though there's still a lot of digitalization, I think that there still need a lot of personal services. The
Exactly.
warm, welcome, and people-oriented type of business approach will still be there, and the technology will just be a backup. Technology will just enhance it in terms of
Mhm.
managing your database, in terms of analyzing your data to be able to be competitive with other hotels. But at the end, it's still the people will make the
Exactly.
difference,
It's a people business.
because a hotel is based on creating memories, creating experience, and that would still be the competitive advantage of
Ex-
if you will be in this industry.
Excellent. Excellent. Great to have you.
And I play golf during free time.
Wonderful. Salamat.
I'm also impressed, sir, with your credentials.
Excellent. Great to have you. I think Guyana is also new here. Guyana Manukian. She's from Armenia, I think.
Yes, yes, I am. Sorry for being late.
No worries, dear. Please introduce yourself and
Well,
what do you do for fun and what are you going to do after graduation?
okay. You hear me clearly?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'm Gayane. I'm from Armenia.
Just a little
I
louder, please. A little louder.
well, I'm Gayane. I'm from Armenia, Yerevan. Um, I finished National Polytechnic University in Armenia. I graduated as an IT professional, and I worked almost 3 to 4 years as a developer. Uh, and 2 years I worked as an RPA developer. Uh,
Mhm.
and for fun, I like to do like reading. Reading is my first hobby. Like I can't pass a day like without me reading at least a page.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like walking and exploring new places too. Um, and I guess that's it.
Now you live in Glendale?
I know.
Where do you live?
I live in Mission Hills.
Oh, Mission Hills. Excellent. Excellent. Great to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So who else is new? Hasn't introduced himself or herself? Aotian, I think you are new too, right? Or you introduced yourself.
Yes.
So,
Hello, my name is Hao Tian. I'm from China, and I graduated from Penn State University with a bachelor's degree in computer engineering. And my hobby is PC building, modding, and tuning.
and what are you gonna do after graduation?
Looking for a job in the computer industry.
Excellent, excellent. Great to have you. 谢谢. So everyone introduce himself or herself. Joyce, what about you? Did you introduce yourself or no?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Joyce. I'm from Germany, and I'm currently working at a semiconductor company in the Bay Area and do my MBA right now.
So what do you do in your free time?
I like to design, but I also like music a lot and hiking here in the Bay Area is really nice.
Excellent. Danke.
Bitteschön.
Ich verstehe ein bisschen Deutsch.
Oh, this is really good. Like you have no accent almost. Pretty good.
Thank you. So, who else? Everyone introduce himself, herself. Johnny, what about you?
Yeah, I haven't. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
please,
just really
don't be shy.
enjoying this course. Yeah. I'm Chansey. I don't know why it display. It showed me as Johnny. But my name is Chansey. Yeah, I'm working for semiconductor company in San Diego. So
Excellent.
this is my master in engineering management degree here. Yeah, I just started this degree yesterday. Yeah.
Excellent. And where is your origin?
I come from China.
China. Wonderful.
Yeah.
And what do you do for fun?
For fun, I like play poker and
Poker.
play soccer. Yeah,
Wonderful.
soccer and poker.
Great to have you.
Thank
Okay,
you.
guys, you know where to find your groups, right? Everyone knows about that. So let me share my screen with you then. Okay, so today we have two topics. The first one is information security. One of the hottest topic in information technology is information security. Every day you hear about the importance of security, about the hacking, about data breach, and so on. Even, these days, the war started between countries through cyber war. Before attacking the physical war, they started with the cyber war. So today we're going to learn about 5 factors that contribute to increasing vulnerability of information resources, compare and contrast human mistakes and social engineering, because humans are the main sources of cyber attacks and errors. Most hackers, most attackers use employees of different organizations to gain access to the network. So that's very important. 10 types of deliberate attacks, 3 risk mitigation strategies, and 3 major type of controls an organization can use to protect their information resources. So keep in mind, when we say about information security, it doesn't mean just cyber security. It's both physical and cyber security. So we need to pay attention to both of them. So security is the degree of protection against criminal activity, danger, damage, or loss. Information security, all of the procedures and policies designed to protect an organization information. Threat, any danger to which a system may be exposed. An exposure is the harm, loss, damage can result in the threat, compromises, and information resources. And vulnerability is the possibility of the system will be harmed by a threat. Just imagine an organization is like your body, right? So when you are vulnerable, you are weak, you can get easily sick, you can get viruses, you can get bacteria, right? The same thing for an organization. When an organization doesn't have a good immune system, doesn't protect itself, definitely it can get virus, it can get attacks by bacteria or other external things. So an organization is like your body. The way you protect yourself, you need to protect your organization. For example, if the weather outside is too cold, you do not go outside shirtless, right? Because you may get cold. You protect yourself. The same thing for an organization. You need to protect your organization. If you get sick, what would you do? You take medication, you try to remove that virus or that bacteria from your body. The same thing for an organization. If a computer network gets a virus, you need to remove it from the system. If you don't remove it, it will damage the whole system, exactly like whatever a bacteria or virus does to your body. So that's very important. So keep in mind. And information security, it has policies, it has procedures, it has tasks. It's like a constitution to manage information and secure information. You know, to run a country, we have a constitution, right? All important policies, procedures, rules, and regulations. And after that, we have some strategies and tactical plans. So we need to have the same thing for an organization in terms of information technology security. 5 factors contributing to vulnerabilities. Today's interconnected, independent, wirelessly networked business environment. So we used to have a lot of remote workers, right? During and after COVID, many people gained access to their work networks by their laptops. These days, you can get connected with everything by your cell phone. So today's interconnected, interdependent, wirelessly network business environment is huge. So you know many people that they use internet, a smaller, faster, cheaper computer and storage devices. Even you can see old people, senior citizens over the age of 70, 80, they use cell phones and computers. And some of them may not know about computer security, cyber security, information security. Decreasing skills necessary to be a computer hacker. In old days, you had to be a programmer to be a computer hacker. These days, you can easily even use ChatGPT, AI, all these things to come up with plans for you and, to be able to hack. For example, in old days, you could get a lot of emails on Yahoo and, Gmail that even based on their writing and their English grammar, you could identify this is a fake. These days, by using AI, they fix all these mistakes. They can make a very professional writing email, whose goal is just to get information from you. We have international organized crime. In some countries, this is an organized crime. I saw a 4-story building. I saw a picture of a 4-story building in a country that all people were sitting behind computers and they try to go to different dating websites, Amazon, everywhere, just try to hack and make money. And another cause of information security vulnerability is lack of management support. Unfortunately, most managers and senior managers, they still don't take it seriously. Even we saw 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, that was a defense department in the United States. They were using an application that all of a sudden everyone saw that all those chats. So that's very important. Unintentional threats to information system, human errors, and social engineering. Human errors is the main causes of attacks. That's why those hackers use social engineering. By social engineering, I mean the way they try to manipulate you through email, through text, through phone call, to make you release information. That's social engineering. Kind of manipulation, right? Security threats, employees, which could be users, which could be operators, which could be system programmers, which could be application programmers. Another threat could be software. How softwares could be a kind of threat? Can you tell me? Just imagine you have a
When
software in your computer. How could be a source of threat for cyber?
when
Is it like a ransomware or something? Malware?
No.
when they are not compatible and can break down your system completely, I don't know, something like that.
Phishing or malware.
It
These
might
are
have,
the
like,
these are
security
softwares that other people.
vulnerability.
Say again.
I'm saying if the software has the vulnerability that someone can inject something into that.
Okay, how could be a software which is good and all of a sudden become vulnerable? How that could be possible?
Maybe while containing sensitive information.
Other people, please try. Keisha. Naoki. Abel. Norman.
If the software is not used properly, for example, for management support, normally you have a data privacy officer needs to train your staff on how to. Sometimes there are questions in the. Your people must be trained on how to handle information. For example, if a
That's a
client.
great point. And one of the most important thing is when you do not update your softwares. Even on your personal computers, if you don't update your Windows, if you don't update your, they will be vulnerable. Why? Because whenever most of those updates are security patches, security bugs that they fixed. If you don't do that, your software becomes vulnerable to attacks for you. So besides all those, malicious activities, threats, and installing unknown softwares, even for your current softwares, you need to update them regularly. That's very important. Because sometimes we say, okay, this updating process is boring and it's gonna restart my computer. You just turn it off, but it's a mistake. Another thing, hardware threats located in non-secure environments. Someone can put a small, memory chip in your computer and download information, right? Sometimes you can, people can look at your monitor and get information, and sometimes due to natural disasters like fire, like earthquake, the building may damage, and then all of a sudden, a burglar may come and take your computer, and then they get a lot of good information out of it. Another thing is through the internet, right? Who checks his bank accounts at the airport? Have you ever done it? What about the Starbucks?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes Starbucks, bank account, Starbucks, airport. What else? What else have you checked on at the Starbucks? Have you ever
Do you
worked with your confidential information or gain access to your workplace network through a Starbucks? Many people do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a big mistake. These are public networks. They're not secure, unless you have VPN. Never check your bank accounts, never check confidential information through public networks like airports, like malls, internet at malls or, Starbucks, all these things. Because hacker can easily gain access to that network and see all your information. Unless you have VPN. You can create a VPN by using the internet of your cell phone easily. So, natural disasters and man-made disasters, fire, power outage, and so on, and the internet, malicious activities, virus, worms, that we'll talk about the differences, denial of a service. Sometimes they gain access to your computer and just locked out your computer. You cannot access to the network anymore, or sometimes you cannot access to your computer unless you pay them. That's why they call it ransomware. Sometimes they do crazy stuff. A couple of years ago, a kind of luxury restaurant in Orange County, California, contacted me, and the guy said that someone, they had a domain name and web address. They forgot to renew their domain name. So there were some hackers in a country, they were waiting for all these things to expire. And as soon as that domain names expired, they purchased it and put porno stuff on that website. So just imagine a luxury restaurant, whoever wanted to make reservation, he saw those things.
But
And
that is legal, right? We just purchased something that is expired.
that's legal, but putting porno stuff on someone else's website, you know what I'm saying? So they asked the guy to give them $20,000 to give him back his domain name. So he contacted me and I said, no way. There is no guarantee. If you pay them, they're going to give it back to you. Just get another domain name, announce to all your customers the new web address, and change it in all social networks. You know what I'm saying? So cyber threats, these are not, or security threats are not just, virus or this kind of stuff. No, even sometimes. Another thing, this year or last year, it's very popular. You get text messages from toll road violation that you violated a toll road and you need to pay this penalty. If you don't pay that, it's going to be double. And in some areas like California, Southern California, which we have toll roads, it's kind of confusing because you don't know if it's from the real website, is it from the fake? And many people paid for those things, and then they noticed, no, they were fake. So that's very important. During tax season, can you tell me the best source that hackers can attack to get information during tax season, or even after that? But during tax season, it's very popular. Can you tell me? Just imagine you're a hacker.
Pretending to be a tech agent.
No, which place do you prefer to hack to get a lot of information?
Bank transaction.
No.
Accessing their public Wi-Fi, and the hacker try to dump their personal information from their connection.
Yeah, but during tax season, the best places are accountants and CPAs.
Yeah, right.
Because they have a lot of information of many people, social security, home address, tax information. So instead of hacking one by one, they just hack one CPA office and they can get access to 500 people social security information. So we'll talk about it and how we can protect ourselves. So human errors, higher level employees plus greater access privilege, greater threats. So, you know the word of phishing, right? What does phishing mean? Have you heard of it? What does it mean?
Yeah, phishing is sending links in emails and messages.
To people to get information from them, get their username, password, click on a specific. We have
Yeah.
another concept called whaling. A whale is much bigger than a fish, right? So when they target CEOs and top seniors of a company, they call it whaling. So they target the CEO, they hack his email, and then they email other employees from the CEO's email address and ask them to provide the information. And poor employees think that's a legitimate email from the CEO. So, and they provide information, they provide everything. Then all of a sudden they notice, oh, someone hacked the CEO. So higher level employees plus greater access privilege. What does it mean, greater access privilege? That means they have more access to information of the business. They might have access to financial information that other employees don't have. That's why they are the best target. Two areas pose significant threats: human resources, because they have information of all employees, managers, everyone. Information systems, because they connect different parts together. Other areas of threats: contract label, consultant, janitor, guards, everybody. You know, outside advisor, if you don't follow rules, janitors, guards, you know, if they don't do their jobs properly, or if they have some issues with your organization, they can get information from you. And everyone, keep in mind, you need to turn on your cameras. That's the rule of the university. Common human error, carelessness with laptops. You use your laptop to gain access to, you know, wherever you want, but in unsafe places. Carelessness with computing devices, even mobile, you know, cell phones. Opening questionable emails. Carelessness internet surfing. Poor password selection and use. Some people, they just, whenever they're going to change their passwords, they just change their last number at the end of it. It used to be 1, then now it's going to be 2, then it's going to be 3. Carelessness with one's office, carelessness using unmanaged devices, when everyone can, you know, access those devices. What's wrong with these unmanaged devices? What's the problem with these unmanaged devices? There is a computer, everyone can use it.
Yes,
It doesn't
sir.
have.
Sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Please.
Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, those devices won't have any anti-phishing software or malware that's preventing other people to access that specific device. And if you're going to be using that device to enter your personal information, your emails or bank information, then those places are much more susceptible to attacks because of human error.
Exactly. And also they may install keyloggers, you know, softwares that they can collect your username and password and send it to the attacker. So carelessness monitoring our environmental hazards. So like fire, like you know, other issues, you need to consider all these factors too. What if the fire happens? What if the earthquake happens? What are you going to do with your servers, with your information? Because, you know, all of these things may happen. So you need to be able to protect your information. Social engineering, an attack in which perpetrator uses social skills to trick or manipulate legitimate employees to providing confidential company information such as password. Let's watch a video regarding social engineering.
Can you please just hear me out? No, all work
Can
management
you guys
platforms are
hear
the
that
same.
or no?
They take forever to learn. Traditional hacking aims to compromise the security settings of IT systems and applications. Social engineering attackers attempt to exploit the users of these technologies by claiming to be employees, vendors, or support personnel to try to trick the workers. People are trusting and willing to help others, and the attackers use that to their advantage by deceiving users into revealing information that compromises data security. Traditional protection from malware and viruses will not protect you from a social engineering attack. Once they gather bits and pieces of the organization, they'll be able to put the puzzle together and exploit the business. One technique is phishing emails, which are typically the most successful form of social engineering. This is where hackers will send out emails to their victims in hopes of gaining sensitive information by tricking them into clicking a malicious link, giving the hacker access to information. Another technique is physical breaches. This is where the hacker does an impersonation of someone else in order to gain access to a secure location. Attackers can also use the technique of pretext calling. This is where an attacker makes up a scenario to obtain the information they need. Pretext calling often requires trust to be formed between the attacker and the victim. Don't be fooled by social engineering tactics. Be sure to train employees to follow safe security measures in the event of an attack. Employees should always be cautious when sharing personal information on social media platforms. Never open an email that looks suspicious or let a stranger connect to your wireless network. Don't give strangers personal information until you can verify where they are calling from. Review security policies to stay up to date with the latest social engineering techniques. Always use a paper shredder to properly dispose of your printed material. It is important to treat security awareness and training as an investment. For more information on social engineering,
So that's why social networks are extremely important, right? Even LinkedIn, they can go to LinkedIn, find all your colleagues in an organization, and then they try to create similar emails with their names. So that's very important. Here is a page shows the ways we can identify a phishing email. Look at this one, from. Check the address to see if it is legitimate. Sometimes they try to change just one letter or something to make it similar, you know. Another thing too, is this really to you, or sometimes there are unknown, or there are many people. This is another factor. Date and timing. Sometimes, just imagine, for example, your CEO sent you an email to 3:30 a.m. Then you open, so is it normal to get this guy send me an email at 3:30 a.m.? Probably someone hacked his system. You know what I'm saying? The time that you receive the email is very important. Subject, the language here, they always come up with a sense of urgency, and it's important, you lost your information or you need to do something. They try to create a sense of urgency for you and to make you take an action. Now, so they have hyperlink. When you hover, for example, here it says Bank of America, but when you hover your mouse, probably it's something else. And sometimes they ask you to download the attachment, which is an exe file that automatically installs on your system. So keep in mind is pay attention to all these things. So different types of threats, espionage or trespass. They try to damage the system. Information extortion, they steal your information and use it. Sabotage and vandalism, theft on equipment or information. Identity theft, like stealing your social security, an address. So just imagine someone stole your social security number. What can you do? What can they do with your social security in the United States? They open credit cards, they can get a loan.
Yeah, they can fully impersonate you.
Exactly. So how can you protect yourself? The first thing, if you are a victim of identity theft, you go to 3 main important credit bureaus: TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian, and you freeze your credit information. So no one can apply credit cards or loan on your behalf unless you unfreeze it. Another thing they can do is to file taxes on your behalf. What can you do? You can get a PIN number from IRS. No one can file taxes unless they have that PIN number. And you can check your credit records regularly. There are different websites. You can check your credit and financial records. If you see abnormality on issue, you can report it immediately. So, there are software attacks, alien software, something similar to other softwares, but they try to get your information. Cyber terrorism and cyber warfare. For example, the war between Russia and Ukraine. Russia started the war with cyber warfare, and then they attacked the real, physical war. And now let's learn about different malicious things. Malicious is a general word for all those kind of attacks: virus, worms, phishing, spear phishing, and so on. Virus is a program that needs to get attached to another program to be able to active and perform. That's virus. Worm doesn't need to attach to another exe file. It expands itself. Phishing attack, we learned about phishing attack using email, text, and whatever. Spear phishing attack, when they target a specific group of people. Like, just imagine they target all Westcliff University students. That's called a spear phishing. They target a specific group of people. Let's watch a video regarding different types of cyber attacks. Any questions so far? Everything is good? You didn't get scared of attacks? No?
This is why the security is on highest level on the banks.
Huh?
Like I worked in a bank as a developer, and every employee of our bank knew how phishing and every cyber attack can go on.
Excellent. So that's one of the requirements. Yeah. Even, that's the same for professors, even in different universities. Sometimes they try to test us. They send just phishing email, and whoever opens it and take action, they say, oh, you need to redo your training. That's the pain. Yeah. So let's watch this video.
They're refining new tools to break down computer security systems to launch their attacks. You could be their next target. Here are the top 15 types of cyber attacks you need to look out for. Number 1, man-in-the-middle attack. Cyber terrorists carry out these types of cyber attacks through different ways, including hijacking and active eavesdropping, IP spoofing, and replay. Common solutions of the man-in-the-middle attacks are encryption, tamper detection, and authentication of digital certificates. Number 2, phishing and spear phishing attacks. The phishing attack is where cyber terrorism attackers send you fraudulent emails with clickable links. These attackers aim to steal your personal information. Cyber terrorists also use these types of cyber attacks to install on your computer. Next is drive-by attack. Cyber terrorists frequently use drive-by attacks to spread malware. They target insecure websites. Once they find a potential victim, they inject a malicious script into either the HTTP or PHP code of the website page. This script directly compromises the computer network of the site visitor. Coming in at number 4, botnet attacks. Botnets are a collection of system networks which attackers have injected malware. Cyber terrorists commonly make use of these infected systems with malware to carry out a distributed denial of service or DDoS attack. It is frequently difficult to spot DDoS attacks because the systems used in the attacks are scattered worldwide. Number 5, social engineering attacks. Cyber terrorists use social engineering to access personal data of victims. They also use this type of attack for hijacking accounts, character or identity impersonation, or to perform unauthentic payments, and more. Number 6, SQL injection attack. An SQL injection cyber terrorism attack happens when the cyber terrorist injects malicious code in an SQL server. This injection attack tricks the server to divulge information it doesn't usually disclose. This cyber threat could occur when a fraudster merely submits malicious script into a susceptible website search box. Number 7 is malware attacks. This is an umbrella term for different types of cyber attacks that use malicious software to compromise computer security. Steps on preventing malware attacks. Use good antivirus software. Be careful when opening emails from unknown sources. Avoid clicking on malicious pop-ups and keep your firewall up to date. At number 8, we have cross-site scripting or XSS attack. This type of cyber attack makes use of the third-party website to inject malicious JavaScript codes into the target's web browser. XSS attacks can also be utilized for capturing screenshots, discovering and collecting network information, and gaining remote access and control over the victim's computer network. Number 9, password attack. Cyber terrorists leverage on password authentication mechanism to gain access to users' information. These password attacks can take several forms. The brute force. It is used by internet fraudsters to guess your password. They commonly do this with advanced programs which help decipher passwords based on certain factors. The dictionary attack occurs when cybercriminals make use of dictionary of common passwords to guess the target's password.
So I'm going to share this YouTube link with you through chat so you guys can okay. What else? What can we do as an organization to protect ourselves from security attacks?
Training.
Training. One of the first training, but before training, just imagine that you have a child with you and there is a power outlet and the power outlet is dangerous and you don't want the child doesn't put his finger into that outlet. You have 3 options. You can put a cap or cover on that outlet. You can train the child that this outlet is dangerous, don't put your finger in it. Or you can sit next to it and watch it. Which option do you choose?
Put the
First.
prevention, Professor.
Which one?
Prevention. Put the cap. It's like as mentioned a while ago.
Okay.
In the hospitality industry right now, we have a data privacy officer that is sure to protect the flow of information.
Excellent. Yeah.
It's important that each employee knows how to handle information and transmit the information and protect the information while it's being transferred. So the DPO is in charge of educating and training each employee to protect the transfer of information.
Yeah,
because
but the first step is prevention, as you mentioned. The same thing for information security.
And the regular software updates.
Excellent. So the first thing is our working procedures. And then training employees, updating softwares, put different policies, updating employees regarding the new attacks, putting firewalls for network, right?
And incident response plan.
Excellent. So, in general, for cyber security and information security, there is a concept called CIA, but CIA has nothing to do with Central Intelligence Agency. CIA means confidentiality, integrity, and accessibility. You need to follow all these rules for your data: confidentiality, accessibility, and integrity. Accessibility means different levels of access. Everyone cannot have access to everything. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes if you, for example, they need to do a project, they have access to some information. As soon as they finish their project, you need to cut their access. And it's also integrity. The information must be integrated in the organization and do not have different versions of the same thing. So that's very important. Another important thing is risk mitigation. So there is a concept for risk management. It's called BRR. Brr. You can use it everywhere. Whenever there is a risk, use BRR. Brr. The first step in risk management is creating barriers, creating obstacles. Regarding cybersecurity and information security, having guards in your organization, firewalls to protect your network. Firewall is like, for example, you're going to a party. There are some people standing in front of the door and ask for your invitation letter. If you show it, they allow you to get into the party. If you say, sorry, we just want to check it out, they don't allow you. The same thing for firewall. Firewall is some system and software in front of the network. When the data wants to get into your network, they check it. If it's a legitimate and regular data, they allow it to go there. If not, they block it. So the training is another important barriers. So the first step is barriers. The second thing is creating other matters, redundancy, plan B, other levels. So, for example, the first step of getting sick is prevention, right? So you wash your hands, you get vaccine. The second step is regular checkup. You do regular checkup. If you see something, you can immediately solve the issue before it gets serious. The same thing for cyber and information threats. You need to have inspection. You need to check it out. Continuous inspection. And what if we all barriers and redundancy plan, all of a sudden you get virus? What are you going to do? You need to have a recovery plan. It's like when you get sick. You need to have a recovery plan, right? To rest, get some medication to get back to the normal. BRR, barriers, redundancy plan, and recovery plan. Risk management. Okay. Deal? Deal or no deal?
Yes.
Ready for a quiz?
Ready.
I'm just kidding. I just want to wake you up. No quiz. Let's have a break for 15 minutes. When we come back, we're going to continue. Okay. See you in 15 minutes. Let's continue. As you see, here is a sample of firewall, external firewall and internal firewall. Based on the sensitivity of your information and your organization, you might have different security matters. Even sometimes they put a separate firewall for their databases. They do not link the databases directly to the network. They have a firewall to gain access to their servers. So let's continue by learning about data and knowledge management. Let me ask you a question. What's the difference between data, information, knowledge, and insight? I think I asked you before, but...
Sir, I think data is a raw information. It's like a collection of numbers. For example, in a hotel, we have the daily reports of occupancy and revenue and average rate. Knowledge now is how management will use it in terms of yielding, in terms of pricing strategy, and in terms of marketing strategy. So that data is very crucial for the front office and the sales and marketing team to be able to determine the price that we can offer on a daily and on a monthly basis, so that we can maximize the yield of the hotel to be able to get a better bottom line.
Excellent. Data is raw materials. For example, numbers, 52, 61, 32. Information is when we organize data. For example, regarding Norman case, the number of passengers and the number of guests in the hotel for, May 15th. There's like 200 guests. That's the information. Knowledge, if when we find trends in that information. For example, the average number of guests in May is 200 people. That's a trend. And now when we use that knowledge to take action, it becomes an insight for an organization. So, for example, you say, okay, the rate of our guests in May is lower. So what can we do with that information? That shows that we need to take more marketing actions. And when you do that, it becomes an insight. You use that knowledge to take action. That's why they say knowledge is not power. Taking action on your knowledge is power. So data and knowledge management is very important. Database is like a big library. What do you do when you go to a library? You get books.
Find a book.
Find a book in different topics. You get it, right? So the same thing for database. Database is like a library. Different categories, different set of data. You have a search process to be able to find them. And as you know, these days, database management is one of the most important topics in information technology. Why? Because all artificial intelligence platforms use databases. They need to search databases and they optimize the data and then they create new data. Yeah. So, and the way we manage data in an organization, we call it data governance, an approach to managing information across the entire organization. How to collect data, how to manage data, how to release data. That's very important. Multiple sources of data, internal sources, corporate database, company documents, personal sources, personal thoughts, opinion, experiences, external sources, commercial databases, government reports, corporate websites, and so on. There are two types of databases. relational or SQL databases, or non-relational or non-SQL. A relational database is something like this. As you see, there is a relationship with customer ID, with customer name, with the status, right? Is a relation between them. So based on your customer ID, you can identify the status. But there are also non-relational. You cannot find easily these tables. Like those platforms, they just saved pictures and images. And database management system, they get information from different sources. They analyze the data. And then they work like miners. They try to extract good information and knowledge. Like a miner, how that miner extracts gold from a mine. That's the way that data miners work. Look at this one. There are different sources of data. Transaction in an organization, CRM, flat files, transactional system. A flat file could be a Word document file or something. The internet. They filter them and put them in a data warehouse. That's the first stage of getting useful data. And after that, they try to analyze them and get information for separate department, for marketing, for sales, for something. There is a concept here called metadata. What does it mean? Metadata. We have data and we have a metadata. What does it mean?
It is the definition of the data.
Exactly. Data about data. Okay. So, big data is what you see outside. Big data. A lot of resources, a lot of things. How can you use them effectively? Do you trust 100% on AI? Not really. Because AI gets the whole information from the internet, and all information in the internet is not reliable. You can get a lot of good ideas from AI, but at the end of the day, you need to rely on yourself. Let's watch a video regarding big data.
You ever wondered how much data it generates in the form of texts, phone calls, emails, photos, videos, searches, and music? Approximately 40 exabytes of data gets generated every month by a single smartphone user. Now, imagine this number multiplied by 5 billion smartphone users. That's a lot for our mind to even process, isn't it? In fact, this amount of data is quite a lot for traditional computing systems to handle. And this massive amount of data is what we term as big data. Let's have a look at the data generated per minute on the internet. 2.1 million snaps are shared on Snapchat. 3.8 million search queries are made on Google. 1 million people log on to Facebook. 4.5 million videos are watched on YouTube. 188 million emails are sent. That's a lot of data. So, how do you classify any data as big data? This is possible with the concept of 5 V's: volume, velocity, variety, veracity, and value. Let us understand this with an example from the healthcare industry. Hospitals and clinics across the world generate massive volumes of data. 2,314 exabytes of data are collected annually in the form of patient records and test results. All this data is generated at a very high speed, which attributes to the velocity of big data. Variety refers to the various data types, such as structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. Examples include Excel records, log files, and X-ray images. Accuracy and trustworthiness of the generated data is termed as veracity. Analyzing all this data will benefit the medical sector by enabling faster disease detection, better treatment, and reduced cost. This is known as the value of big data. But how do we store and process this big data? To do this job, we have various frameworks such as Cassandra, Hadoop, and Spark. Let us take Hadoop as an example.
Forget about this. So, any questions?
So is big data what the data that has all these 5 characteristics?
Yeah, the big data is whatever it's outside or inside an organization, which has all these characteristics, right? It changes, it has information about everything, but keep in mind, big data doesn't mean that is the correct thing. You need to filter it. You need to get optimized data like whatever I mentioned here. You need to filter it to find useful information and knowledge out of it. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing. Who do you know about the deep research on ChatGPT? Have you ever tried it?
Yes,
No?
we tried it.
You've tried it?
Yeah.
So what can you share with us?
Deep research, especially ChatGPT, is able to clone all resources in the internet. At the same time, after creating the information, ChatGPT able to learn this information as a RAG, and also as a result, deep research is able to build up their large language models output, and also including their research results. Very useful for me.
Excellent. Yeah, it's a very useful tool. It searches through all resources in the internet. It may take 5 to 10 minutes. You know, it's not that it doesn't give you answer immediately. And it asks you a couple of questions regarding the topic to find the resources, and that's very interesting. Deep Research is a new service for ChatGPT, and it's a limited service. You cannot use it as much as you want. So, any questions? Do you think the information in AI is secure?
What do you mean by
I
secure?
mean, for example, is it okay that I enter secure, you know, just confidential information and get idea from AI, ChatGPT?
No.
For example, just imagine I upload a very secret document about my organization, just a financial document, which is a secret about my organization, and ask ChatGPT to analyze it for me. Is it okay to do that?
No, so
Why not?
because it remembers there might be sensitive information in your documents.
Excellent. It remembers everything. It's like a parrot. It remembers and then repeat it later for other people. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
then maybe someone can ask a question like related the information about your document in
exactly.
ChatGPT.
Someone asks information about your company, then it releases it easily.
Yeah.
That's very, so keep in mind. Do not share confidential information with AI. And knowledge management means the way you manage the knowledge inside an organization, how to get knowledge from outside and how to manage knowledge inside. each organization and every organization has a specific kind of knowledge about customers, knowledge about competitors, patterns, some business tricks, some business ideas. How can you manage all this information? In old days, remember there were even you can still see it in small businesses. For example, there is an employee who knows the thing better. He doesn't share it with other people to secure his job or her job. These days, with knowledge management, that's over. We don't have such a fake job security. Everyone needs to share the information with other colleagues. Everyone needs to access and gain knowledge to update himself. Because in old days, if someone left the company, they didn't know what to do because that guy took the knowledge with himself. You know what I'm saying? These days, knowledge management. You have training manuals. You have working procedures. You need to update it regularly. Okay? So, any other questions? What we learned today?
We learn about security and database, data structure.
Mm-hmm. What's the difference between worm and virus?
Worm comes with exe files that you download in your software.
Very good. But virus
Uh,
needs to attach with exe file of another program.
yeah.
Excellent.
And also, virus can come with the hardware, like if you connect a USB on your.
Mm. Or even through a program. Doesn't need to be through a hardware.
Yeah.
So, what else? So, are you guys ready for your presentations or no? You have 10 minutes to talk to each other. We'll start at 8. Okay. Deal?
Yep.
10 minutes talking to each other. Then we'll start at 8. Because usually at 8 my battery is over. So I just need to listen. Okay, guys, let's get started.
Professor, can Group B start first?
Sure. But that doesn't mean you can escape from the class.
No, yeah, just kidding. Okay, let me share my screen. Awesome. Please hold on. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, we are ready. So, yeah, Haosheng, please go ahead.
Hello, this is Group B's presentation. And our business scenario is Green Loop Design Studio. And the industry is architecture and interior design. And the team consists of designer, architect, and project coordinator. And our business need includes collaborating on high resolution design files such as CAD, PDFs. And we also need to share proposals with clients, store contracts, and maintain version control on shared files. So the primary need is working remotely and real-time collaboration.
So what are the business requirements? We're looking for a centralized cloud-based storage solution that can securely handle large files such as CAD drawings, design assets, high-resolution images, and it should be easy to share both internally and externally. We're also looking for a platform that would support automatic version history, so we can track document changes over time and also revert to previous versions if needed. This would help prevent data loss. It's also important to us that multiple users can work on documents simultaneously, so that real-time editing avoids duplication, and the team is aligned, especially during fast-paced projects. We also need fine-grained access control, so internal teams can collaborate freely, as well as external stakeholders, such as clients or contractors, can only view it if and when needed. The system should also integrate seamlessly with tools we already use, which could be Adobe Creative Suite and Microsoft Outlook. These integrations will help maintain an efficient and uninterrupted workflow. Also, we need a clean and intuitive user flow. That way, people who are not tech savvy or stakeholders that are not tech savvy can also use it easily. Mobile access would be a huge plus, so that any client meeting that is, say, offsite, we can use it or show it easily. And I guess the last and main part is cost efficiency. The solution should be affordable for a smaller team. Yeah.
And we've evaluated the several potential solutions against Green Loop's requirements. And here are three products we thought about. One is SharePoint, second is Google Workspace, and third one is Ignite. And let me compare each feature one by one. And in short, it looks like the Google Workspace is the best option at the moment. But on the other hand, SharePoint has various common office apps such as Excel, PowerPoint, something like that, and also share this document with their peers. And on the other hand, Ignite is not familiar with SaaS. But once we researched this product, Ignite has a good collaboration functionality, such as such as sharing the document, but without live editing compared to the Google Workspace and SharePoint. And Ignite is designed for the enterprise-grade control. And especially Google Workspace has a good potential, especially mobile access collaboration part. And we are already familiar with using this product, like to study our classes, something like that.
Well, for a small creative agile team like Greenloop, Google Workspace suits the best. Firstly, it's because it's all cloud-based and everyone can access to shared files in one place, and we don't have to worry about losing data. And another thing is real-time collaboration. Google Docs, Sheets, and Slides allow multiple users to work on the same file simultaneously. And we see updates in real time, can leave comments and so on. And Google Drive handles large file storage adequately, like tools like Docs and Sheets support seamless teamwork. And also, there is permission control when we can easily manage access. For example, clients can only be given view-only rights, while the team can have edit access. And about Google's mobile app suite, it's great for working on the go, like whether it's checking a document from a job site or joining a meeting. Everything is accessible from phones and tablets. And the last point I can add that it's cost efficiency. It's very affordable for the small teams. We get professional email storage, collaboration tools, and so on.
Yeah, that's about it from Group B.
That's all? That's all?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, good job. Try to explain more and also not too much, but add images, make it much more attractive. You know what I'm saying? You know, add images, the way you design, the way you present, you know, use conversational tone when you want to present it. Because one of the main purposes of all this presentation is to make you ready for future presentation in front of the CEO of the company, in front of many people. So just use it as a great practice. So the design of your slides is very important. These days, there are a lot of great AI tools you can use for your design, and it can create PowerPoint easily for you, you know? So, so do that. Thank you. But it was a good job. Thank you. Another group?
Yes, Professor.
So Group C is ready.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
You can share the screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It's not it doesn't show it properly.
Yeah, it's like a bug. Oh yeah, should work now. So hi everyone, we are the Group C. So today we are going to discuss how to choose file management system. So the outline of our presentation is the second page, please. Yeah, the outline of our presentation is we will first define different types of business, including sole proprietorship, partnership, family business, and so on. Then clarify their different functions. Next, we will compare 4 mainstream document acknowledgement systems on the markets, including G Suite, SharePoint, Ignite, and Dropbox. Then we will analyze their main features, advantages, and disadvantages. Eventually, we will recommend the most suitable document and knowledge management system for each type of business based on its characteristics and explain the reasons for their recommendation.
Also, I want to share about the main forms of the enterprises in today's society. The first one is a sole proprietorship, and it's like a business owned and fully responsible by one person. And the partnership is about 2 or more partners jointly own it and share profits and liability according to their agreement. Also, the family business is about a business controlled and managed by a family and passed down from generation to generations. The company is more about an independent legal entity where shareholders hold shares and risk are limited to their capital contributions. The group business is about a parent company controls multiple subsidiaries to form a diversified business network. The cooperative is about members jointly own and control, and profits are shared according to their member contributions. The social enterprise is a business that balances profitability and society responsibility with solving their social problems as its course. Franchising is about a brand owners authorize others to operate the business according to their standards. The joint venture is about a new business established by 2 or more companies for a common goal. The last one is a non-profit organization. It's an organization that aims to benefit the public and not to make a profit.
Hi, so we're now gonna talk about comparing amongst the 4 SharePoint, Google Workspace, Ignite, and Dropbox businesses. So basically nowadays we have different files and knowledge management systems available on the market, such as these 4. And their differences are, firstly, SharePoint is tightly integrated with Microsoft 365. It's highly customizable and offers strong permission controls, making it ideal for complex enterprise environments. However, the issue is it can be difficult to set up and has a steep learning curve, which is best suited for medium to large organizations which already have Microsoft tools. Now we're going to compare that to Google Workspace, which is known for its simplicity and excellent real-time collaboration through tools like Docs, Google Docs, Google Sheets, and Google Slides. It's affordable and user-friendly. On the downside, it offers less flexible permission controls and a simpler file structure. It works well for startup businesses, small businesses, educational institutions, and creative teams. Third, we're going to talk about Ignite, which focuses heavily on security and compliance. It supports both cloud and on-premises deployment, and offers detailed access controls. It's ideal for industries like healthcare, legal, and finance. And these require strict regulatory compliance. However, it has a less modern interface and tends to be more expensive. It's best for mid to large businesses as well in regulated sectors. And then lastly, we're going to talk about Dropbox. Dropbox Businesses is known for its clean design and reliable file syncing. It's very easy to set up and integrates well with tools like Slack, Zoom, and Adobe. With that being said, it lacks advanced workflow and permission features, so it's not suitable for complex file systems. It's perfect for small teams and creates professionals who need fast and simple file sharing. Next page.
So how can we determine the system, especially we have so many options? Taking into account the uniqueness and suitability of each company type and referring to the advantages and disadvantages of each document management system, we made the following arrangements. So G Suite is suitable for sole proprietorships, family businesses, and franchises because it's easy to use, low cost, and ideal for like small scale, flexible collaboration. SharePoint is suitable for companies and group businesses because it supports complex permission management, structured content, and deep Microsoft integration. Dropbox Business is suitable for partnerships and nonprofit organizations because it is simple to use, efficient for sharing, and great for lightweight collaboration. Lastly, Ignite is suitable for cooperatives, social enterprises, and joint ventures because it focuses on data security, access control, and compliance requirements. Next page, please. So in summary, choosing the right file and data management system depends on the size, structure, and specific needs of your organization, whether it's the simplicity of Google Workspace, the collaboration ease of Dropbox Business, or the enterprise power of SharePoint, or the security focus of Ignite. I think each platform has its strengths. So by aligning the tool with your business type, you can boost efficiency, ensure compliance, and support your team's way of working. Thank you for listening.
Good job. Design was better, but again, try to explain more this, not too short. Okay? The purpose of all these things is to learn something because the last hour of the class is for you guys. So we need to fill it out, that 1 hour. We cannot just, okay. So another group.
Yeah, we can be next.
Please.
I hope my screen is visible here.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'll start. We are group A, and we focused on knowledge sharing and data management within organizations, and we covered the need as a common need for all the businesses. We move on the next slide, please. So as I mentioned, knowledge management and knowledge sharing is a common need for all businesses, and it's an important necessity as well, because organizations keep generating more and more data, and also because this knowledge sharing and management brings great benefits to the organizations, and those include boosting collaboration and innovation, enhancing creativity in decision making and issue resolution, improving the overall agility and efficiency of the workflows, and preserving the expertise and know-how that the company has. we find that knowledge management is essential for scaling and sustaining the business growth, as organizations are more capable of facing crises and adapt to change when they have an effective knowledge management strategy in place. And so this strategy must involve the company stakeholders, both internal and external, the technology that they use, defining the appropriate processes and workflows to retain and correctly use the information and the data that they manage during the daily business activities. And so by defining and applying this strategy, companies can leverage their knowledge as a strategic asset. In this presentation, we are evaluating the best technology and tools that we can use or the businesses can use in order to achieve this effective knowledge management. Next.
SharePoint is a Microsoft-powered platform designed to help teams store, organize, and collaborate on files securely. It's especially useful for remote or hybrid teams needing a centralized space to manage documents and knowledge. The reason we recommend SharePoint is because it integrates well with familiar tools like Word, Excel, and Teams. It allows real-time editing, access control, and file versioning, all of which are essential for protecting and managing knowledge across locations. Its user permissions and scalability make it suitable for both small teams and large enterprises. Overall, it's a strong solution for secure, organized, and efficient knowledge sharing. Next slide.
Thank you. So I'll be discussing on Confluence. I've been using Confluence a lot. So Confluence is a team workspace that we can share the knowledge and do the collaborations. We use the Confluence to create document normally, and then we can share the document, we can give comments and resolve the comments. And also we can export it into Word format and PDF format. And so the good point why I would suggest that Confluent can be an option because it is very easy to use. It's very simple. Actually, comparing to like Word or Excel, sorry, other tools like Ignite or some other tools. So Confluence look very simple, but at the same time, it has very rich functionalities. We can do like collaborations, so multiple user can access into the same page and edit at the same time or different time. And also it has this built-in template that we use it a lot because in organization normally we will have some document that has a structure, a similar structure. So the template will have everyone to follow the same format, and it helps the people to create the document faster and more standard in the enterprise. And another thing is that it integrates with so many tools like Jira. So if we also use Jira ticket tools, we can also embed those Jira tickets list into Confluence, and also it integrates with diagram tools like Draw.io or Mermaid. So many tools you can add it into your page. You can edit it. So it's much better than let's say Word, because Word, I don't think you have like options that you can add the integrations tool. So in Confluent, it's much more convenient. And also in Confluent, we can set the access control, who can see it, is it public or not, and how many people should be able to access, and also who edited it. We have Confluent have like very clear versioning. It show what has been edited in this version, from that version to this version. So for me personally, so I've been like try quite a few tools, but Confluent is my favorite. So that's why I suggested. But however, my team member will suggest the other tool.
Hi everyone. The next tool that I have is called Get Guru or just Guru. It's just like having like a verified wiki that lives on where you were. So if you're using Slack, Zendesk, or Salesforce, it easily integrates to that application. So it's like it's inside the platform that you're basically using. So it uses like small bite-sized card, they call it. So all of the information to like common questions or processes or product information that you needed would be easily searchable there or would just pop up there. So it's easy for like team members or employees to find information that they needed in a snap and without like opening like a lot of folders or documents or just even asking your co-employees. I recommend Get Guru, and I also suggested it because I feel like it's a very good solution for companies that needed like quick information, especially if you're dealing with customer support or sales or when you're like onboarding people or employees. It reduces like repetition of like asking questions, increases productivity, of course, and it makes sure that everyone is on the same page. That's it.
To summarize, Microsoft SharePoint, Confluence, and Guru each offers
What happened?
for organizations uh, looking for secure documents management and strong integration with Microsoft 365. Its access controls and version history make it great for managing and co-authoring documents at scale. Confluence is designed for structured team collaboration. It helps team organize content clearly and collaborate in real time and use template to keep documentation um, consistent. Its integration with tools like Jira and Slack make it especially useful for agile and cross-functional teams. And Guru stand out for the quick and in-context access to key information. It's built to deliver verified knowledge right when and where it's needed without switching apps, makes it ideal for fast-moving teams who rely on immediate answers. Thank you for listening.
Good job. The design was good. The color images was much better. The timing it was also good. Because we have an hour and there are 5 groups. Each group has 12 minutes, right? So it was good, but again, try to make it conversational. You don't read news just to read from slides. You put some text, but you have some explanations. You know what I'm saying? In a very conversational way. So very good. Another group?
Yeah, I can share my screen.
Please.
One. You can see my screen, right?
No.
Oh. Can someone else just quickly share? Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Yep. Just a second, my laptop's just hanging. Sorry about this.
No worries.
Yeah, you can share your screen.
Okay.
Awesome. So to give you, so we're going to talk about choosing the right management system. We are Group D. And for choosing our business scenario, you can imagine this, that we are a 100 to 150 person architecture firm. We're in San Francisco, LA, trailers. So every day you have multiple teams in different time zones, and they need like the exact floor plans, the sheets, the CAD documents, and why it is important is because you have so much CAD files, huge BIM models. Usually they range from 200 megabytes or more. So they're very high rendering, high resolution renders. So any standard drive struggles with that much amount of file size. We have partners of external contractors, engineers, consultants working every day. So there are NDAs, client trust documents, etc. So we're also growing fast. And so for managing all this, if you can't find the right resources, right hire, or right architect, then the senior designer kind of loses time in showing all of this information. Next slide. Joyce? Joyce, are on mute. You're on mute.
Is she there?
I think she's there. I think she's speaking with.
Sorry, one moment. Yeah, so wait, sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, the success criteria, we had blazing fast search, all right permissions, robust version history, and standard compliance. And what good looks like here is for blazing fast research is under 2 seconds query times across 2 terabytes of drawings, PDFs, and meeting notes, role-based access, MFA, and audit logos. Contractors get project folders right only, and every safe, stored, easy, and different rollback, file lock prevents from conflicting edits. And yeah, with the standard compliance meeting ISO 2000, yeah, this is just a really technical kind of like success criteria. Can you go to the next slide? Yeah, for the selection for criteria for file management systems, when choosing a file management system, is actually important to consider scalability, flexibility, data security, compliance, of course, integration with existing tools, right? The user experience, ease of use, cost effectiveness, and ROI. And I can explain for myself, like as managing content before for multiple marketing agencies, there's a difference when you use OneDrive or Dropbox or Drive or different kind of file management systems, even Asana or things like Confluence. So you really want to make sure that it's something the team likes to work with, that is easy user experience, but also, sometimes you have problems with sharing files and file access. So this is important, as well as cost efficiency and, making sure, because some of these file management systems can be really expensive. For example, Airtable, if you scale it across company, it's really expensive. So this is something to consider, as well as data security, right? Do you want to go with Google system, which might question, okay, how secure is the system? Or do you want to go with something a bit more private, offline, online? This is something you can consider as well. I don't know if I have this one was me too, Vinesh.
Oh, no, it's Naru. Go ahead, Naru.
So choosing the best management tool. First one is solo researcher tools. Obstinate or RAIM are perfect for individuals, users focusing on knowledge retention and organization. And I never used some before, so I think it's good to try. And the second one is tools for small teams. And Notion provides an excellent platform for small teams to collaborate effectively on projects and documentation. And the third one is enterprise solutions. Confluence is a tool for large enterprises needing robust documentation and team collaboration features. So the first one is basic file sharing, and as we also everyone use Google Drive, and it serves as a reliable option for basic file sharing with easy accessibility. And the last one is Microsoft ecosystem integration, and OneDrive is also best for users who are already integrated into the Microsoft ecosystem for efficient file management. Next slide, please. So choosing the best management tool as access collaboration needs and evaluate storage options, check integration capabilities, utilize free trials, and ensure scalability, and also focus on security features. Next slide, please.
Just comparing all of the file management solutions, I think, we already went over this, but just to kind of reiterate and just give you like all of the products side by side so you can see the pros and cons. So if you look at Google Drive, you can do real-time collaboration. It has free tiers that you can use. However, there are privacy concerns. For Dropbox, you can sync files faster. It has smart storage. It even works on like your smartphone. However, you just get a limited amount of free storage, and after that, after a certain tier, you have to pay. And there's fewer native tools. If you look at OneDrive, it's integrated with Windows. It has Office support. However, it has like a clunky UI, and sometimes there are sync issues. And if you look at SharePoint, collaboration is like one of the main points for this, and it also has seamless Office integration. However, it is a little complex to use when you first start using it. It requires a lot of maintenance, and it is a little bit of a learning curve. But in spite of all this, we have chosen SharePoint as a recommendation because, like I said, it has a strong integration with Office 365. It has collaboration and all that. But speaking from like experience, it works for document management. So you can like add a shortcut in SharePoint, and it syncs to your OneDrive, so you can make real-time changes in it. You can also upload different types of files, and for each different type of file that you upload, you can put in like a tag for it. So say we were uploading like some design documents, like CAD documents, you can put in like a design tag for it. And in terms of like PDFs, if it's like a payment plan or like a payment receipt, you can just put in like that tag on it. So you can group all of your documents into different tags. And if you want to search something, you can just search based on that tag. It also has like different search capabilities, like you can, if you have like a large number of files, you can sort it based on the file name. So you can do like A to say D. There's different like search options that you can use in SharePoint, which makes it like very easy for you to look at something so you don't have to scroll all the way. And then like if you add a shortcut to SharePoint, you can use it in OneDrive and it uploads automatically. So you don't have to like re-upload the file or use like the online version of like Word or Excel or anything that you want to use. You can also automate the workflows from the back end, so that is also useful. So yeah, this is why we have chosen SharePoint as like the winner for us. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Design was good. Leon, your speed is too much. try to be more relaxed, you know. Just as I said, it's a very conversational, relaxing, very, you know.
Yeah, I don't think we were aware of like the 12 minutes. So yeah, next time we'll try to kind of adhere to that and keep it in.
Yeah, but it was very good, professional, and I like that. Very good. Good job. So the last group, I think, right? Last group,
We only have 4 groups, A, B, C, D.
we have only 4 groups. We have 5 groups. Oh, we have only 4 groups? I thought we have 5 groups. Let me see. No, you're right. We have only 4 groups. So that means you have more time next time.
15 minutes. But
15 minutes. Okay, guys. Let's see who is available today, who is at present, who is absent. Okay. Abel is present, Muhammad is present, Keisha is present, Zhenkai?
Oh yeah, so I present. I'm the group C, the first one present.
Leon, yeah, Norman present, Hautian present, Zhenki, Han?
Hey, Professor, I just got enrolled yesterday. I didn't get a chance to talk to my teams.
Okay, no.
And then
Moon
I-
was present, Guyana present, Chino present, Suresha? Are you here? Suresha? Or Siresha? I don't know. No? No. Someone is listening to romantic music. Vijay? Pitale?
I think that's Apurva, and she emailed you that she's not well.
Okay. Poonam is present. Vigesh is present. Chan Heng Siang?
Yeah, perfect.
Present.
Yeah.
Naoki present. Yura? Yura,
I'm here. Yes.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. Sushmita present. Shisu Sang?
Yes, I'm here.
Where are you? Oh, I saw it.
I'm here.
No. Okay, Joyce present. Abdul? MD Abdul? MD Abdul? Dr. Abdul? No. Narumi Yamada?
Here.
Here. How do you say here in Japanese?
Hi.
Don't be shy, say it. I just know sayonara, mushi mushi. Then you answer the phone. Ohio for morning.
Uh-huh.
Arigato mas for thank you. So you guys should teach me more. Narumi present. Yi Cheng Ye. Yi Cheng Ye. Yi Cheng Ye is absent. And Rebecca is present.
Yes.
Presente.
Presente.
Presente. Okay, guys. Any questions, anything? So be prepared for next week. Okay.
Question, Professor.
Yes, dear.
With the things from last week, like the submission for the meetings and stuff, do you know when you always grade them, or like when?
For VCS, you mean?
Yeah.
So just watch the video and
Yeah.
submit your VCS.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Danke. Bitte.
Dankeschön.
But your last name is from Netherlands.
Everyone
No?
thinks that, but no, it's not. It's Van is from Netherlands, so Van the
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Very good. So I learned something. Which part of Germany are you from?
North Hamburg.
Hamburg. I
Mhm.
visited Hamburg actually in
Pretty cold.
2005.
Pretty cold.
And it's a beautiful city. It's
nice.
one of the most beautiful ports and I passed that hotel that they say Michael Jackson visited.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yes. Yeah, it's Miss Home, but
Yeah.
it's cold.
Okay, guys. Take care of yourself. See you next
Thank you.
week.
I had a
Thank
quick
you. Have a good night.
question.
Have a good night, everyone. Thank you for
Wonderful
asking.
presentation next week. This week was not satisfying for me.
Good shot. Right.
Good job.
Professor, I had a
Bye,
quick
Professor.
question. Can you
Yes,
please
dear.
hang
Yes,
on?
yes.
So for the assignment this week, do we need to use like any references? So do you require like just peer reviewed or like anything or?
Peer reviewed, not anything, because
Yeah,
wiki
okay.
or this kind of stuff are not acceptable.
Right,
You guys
okay.
know that it's
And then
academic.
do you have like a recommended like number or something, or just like, you know, whatever you use, kind of use that?
2, 3 is fine.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Welcome. Any other questions?
No, that's it. Thank you.
No other ladies,
Hi,
gentlemen?
Professor.
Sure.
Professor.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
yes. Okay, sorry. It's not really about, I think it's more of a personal question. I didn't know if you want me to email you. It's just in terms of attendance, how that works. Like if I had to come in late,
That's fine.
how
Just a
to
little
go
is
about
just a little is fine, but not too much.
what's not too much. And
Oh.
I asked because unfortunately my work schedule makes me come in I would finish work at 7:30 p.m. but I'll be able to come on from 7:30.
7:30. Okay, 7:30 is fine. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay, awesome. Thank
Not
you.
everyone, just Chino. The classes start at 6:20.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank
Professor.
you.
Bye.
You
Thank you,
guys,
Thank you,
have
Professor.
fun. Adios.
Thank you, Professor.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.